What's up, Cowboys Nation? It's week 11 in the NFL, and we got a battle for Texas, the Cowboys versus the Texans. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, here we go. Here's it out for Lamb. He's got it. He's gone. This is history. It's never happened in the history of the NFL.
Well, thank you so much for jumping on in for another pregame prediction video. I'm going to be here all season long, so be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more Cowboys content. You got a legendary quarterback showdown, the best of the best. C.J. Stroud versus Cooper Rush. Obviously, a lot of sarcasm in that statement. The Dallas Cowboys, man, their season is dwindling. It's over. I mean, this is the last straw. This is bending. If you lose this game, like you are officially out. And we know that. Like we know we've been, going towards that, but it's like expecting the end of a relationship, but when it finally ends, you still feel something. You still are affected by what just happened, even though you wanted it to end. You knew you wanted it to end. So look, this is Monday Night Football. Prime time. So how about that? Cowboys embarrassment on national TV is always a fun time. But you got the Houston Texans, right? They're coming in on a 2-game losing streak. All right, 2-game losing streak. The Dallas Cowboys are on a 4-game losing streak. But what do we say on this show all the time? We say when you're in a slump, when you're not feeling like yourself, come down to Dallas. The Cowboys will fix you up right. And that's exactly what I fully expect. I expect the Texans, it doesn't matter if they've been on a 2-game losing streak. You're coming here, you're going to get right back on track because they got big aspirations. They are in the hunt for the playoffs. They are looking to double down and have some more success on the Rookie of the Year quarterback, C.J. Stroud's year. The Texans are 6-4. They have as many wins as the Cowboys have as losses right now. And if we look at this all-time showdown here, pretty short because obviously the Houston Texans, not recently, but we're the latest to come into the National Football League. The Dallas Cowboys lead this series 4-2 all-time. And last time these two teams played, it was a wild one. And it shouldn't have been a wild one. The Houston Texans had 2 quarterbacks, and the Dallas Cowboys were rolling. It was a season where they had won 12 wins, and they earned their 10th win. I mean, they earned it. They earned their 10th win against the Houston Texans, who at the time were 1-11 and 1. So 1-10-1. The loss made them 1-11-1. But this game came down to the wire, and it shouldn't have, but it did. But the Cowboys ended up winning it. Dak Prescott had a game-winning drive. And when talking about Dak Prescott, pour out one for number 4. He's no longer with the team, obviously going under season-ending surgery, which sucks. But look, this team wasn't good before. This team wasn't good with him. It's certainly not good without him. And so it's going to be a long season, and I'm going to be here every week for it, so be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm not just here for the wins. I'm here for the losses as well. Texans are 2-3 on the road. Cowboys, as we all know, are 0-4 at home, and that's something that hasn't been done since 2015, and if you want a little bit of a history lesson, back in 2015, the Dallas Cowboys had 4 different starting quarterbacks. It was Romo, Brandon Weeden, Matt Castle, and Kellen Moore, and it was an atrocious season. Definitely one we want to forget. But be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Let's jump on into this Cowboys defense versus this Texas offense. Of course, take this with a grain of salt. This just gives us an idea of what's going on. But I am surprised to see. Look, I'm just going to put this out here. Everyone is expecting the Cowboys to get blown out. And they deserve every bit of it, right? Like they are a bad football team. But if we're going to talk about close games, and there are going to be close games for the rest of the season, there will be close games because these guys, the Dallas Cowboys, they have 53 men on the roster, and they take pride in this. This is their full-time job. This is their career. So as much as maybe we would want them to tank and get a top 5 draft pick, it is just not in their blood. It is just not how they play the game. So there will be close games, and I'm telling you right now, Cowboys and Texans will be a dogfight. And you look at this, it's in the wheelhouse. The Cowboys, I hate to say this, but they can win this game. Any game is winnable. Let's just get that out of the way. But this game is in their reach. Now, why have the Texans been losing? Let's answer that question because they're on a 2-game losing streak. They lost to the Jets. They lost to the Lions. Everyone's going to lose to the Lions because the Lions are a really good team. But you're losing to the Jets. The Jets aren't playing good football right now. But it's just they lack consistency. When they're running the ball really well, they're not passing the ball. When the offense is clicking, the defense isn't clicking. Especially when the defense is clicking, the offense isn't doing anything. So there's been a huge lack of consistency, and frankly, they haven't found that rhythm in the past 2 weeks. And so hence that's why they're on a 2-game losing streak. But they're going to figure it out. I mean, they are a young, talented team, and they got a lot of weapons, right? The Cowboys are going to have their hands full with Joe Mixon, Tank Dell, Nico Collins, and welcome back to Dallas, Dalton Schultz, which, by the way, if you're a betting man like myself, do put Dalton Schultz on your slip for an anytime touchdown. No doubt Dalton Schultz is going to get a touchdown. He's going to want that more than ever. He's going to spike the ball. It's going to be a huge thing. So, yeah. And I talked about it last pregame prediction video. Like this whole season, the rest of the season is going to be humility. We're going to be humbled. We got humbled by Kellen Moore and the Eagles. We're going to be humbled here by Dalton Schultz and the Texans. And, we got Dan Quinn coming up. It's a long season. But look, so there's a couple of things, right? Micah Parsons is back, and Micah Parsons is one of the best defensive players in the NFL. I mean, there's just no denying that. It's hard to see that. It's hard to see that because just how bad the Cowboys are, and we haven't seen Micah Parsons in the last 4 weeks. And, man, he was the highest-graded player for that Philly game. Micah Parsons, despite what you feel about his podcast and his comments about Mike McCarthy, when we're talking strictly football, this man will not allow a team to lay down and lose. He's going to bring it, especially against a friend like his friend that he has on the other sideline, CJ Stroud. Like, that's going to bring out the best in both of these guys, and this is going to be a game. And here's the other thing, too. I said this, and I'm going to stand by it. I said this at the beginning of the year. I said this defense will look better. And it's because time and chemistry, and now you're getting your pieces back. I don't know the status of DeRon Bland, but Micah Parsons is a huge addition because what Micah does on the field isn't necessarily just sacks. Like, he does that, but he draws so much attention on the offensive line where other people can get to the quarterback. And we saw that in the Philadelphia game. We saw Carl Lawson get there. We saw Osa bring pressure. We saw a lot of that. So you look at the Texans offense, obviously I just labeled a lot of the weapons, but this is going to be a good matchup here. This is going to be a really good matchup here. And I think this, back to what I was going to say, the defense is progressively getting better. They gave this offense a chance in the first half. And I think the wheels just came off in the second half, but there will be opportunities and chances here for this defense to put the Texans in a bind and give the Cowboys ultimately a chance to win this game. This defense will be the primary reason why the Cowboys will be in some games later in the rest of the season. And so I don't expect the Cowboys to lay down. This will be a contest. It's going to go back and forth. I fully expect this defense to play well on Monday night. And now the offense is a whole nother story, and we'll jump into that. But expect this defense to play with pride, give a valiant effort, and give the Cowboys a chance to win on Monday Night Football. Next up, we're going to be talking about the Cowboys offense and Texans defense. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and comment down below your predictions for the game. But as we look at the Cowboys offense, obviously, we knew they were bad, but now they're horrible. They are an ugly thing to watch. I mean, they were god-awful against the Eagles. The run game was there, obviously giving it to Rico, had 50-plus yards, but just no sense of a pass game. Man. So Cooper Rush, okay, he gets the start, which I don't agree with. I think Cooper Rush just proved that he's limited, and it's not all on Rush, right? Like, Cooper Rush is only as good as the system is. And what you have in Dallas is a really bad, terrible system, a really bland, simple system. And Mike McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer aren't doing anything to help Cooper Rush. On top of that, you don't have any talent outside of CeeDee Lamb to run this offense. So it's literally at its worst. And I mean, that's the results you're getting every Sunday right now is that existing. But in a lot of ways, the offense was way too conservative. I felt like they played like they had a backup quarterback, if that makes sense. I think they just need to be balls to the wall. They just need to go out there, fling it, get crazy, get creative. And oftentimes Mike McCarthy does, he calls plays a shell of himself. Like, he just gets way too conservative, but he's just really got to open that playbook and let it rip. And, like, back is against the walls. No, we're not, everyone's against this at that point. No one's expecting the Cowboys to do anything offensively, defensively. So why not go for it? Why not do this? Why not try some creativity here and there? And so, you got to give Rush a chance here. Now, in my opinion, I think Trey Lance should be the guy moving forward, not only because, the whole 4th-round draft pick conversation, we traded for him, and now Trey Lance is on the final year of his deal. He's due to be a free agent. But I do believe he would add a layer of threat to this offense, because if Cooper Rush is in the backfield, it's just short throws, and, he's not going to try to escape the pocket or anything like that. But Trey Lance adds an extra layer where he can escape the pocket if he wants to, if he needs to, and you can do a lot of running with him. But unfortunately, Mike McCarthy is not that style of offense. He's a West Coast offense. He's a pass-first offense. So even if Trey Lance was in this game, I don't even know if Trey Lance would fit the system that Mike McCarthy wants this offense to be. But just let it be on record. I would play Trey Lance over Cooper Rush. But I honestly get it, too, that they think they owe it to this coaching staff to at least try 2 or 3 games with Cooper Rush and try to win a game with him. Once you see Trey Lance come in and it's like, season's over, we're developing, we're just laying down and letting the season let it be what it is. But if there's 2 things that I can add on to it, obviously keep running the ball with Rico Dowdle. Don't give Zeke the ball. Activate Dalvin Cook. Things that we've been saying all year long. But you really have to get Jake Ferguson involved. There's been a lot of success when Jake Ferguson is involved, and for some reason they keep getting away from him. They need to get back to him. And the same way that they prioritize CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson can open things up in the middle of the field for you. So definitely, there's really not much to say except that. I mean, I'm trying to be optimistic, saying that these things could be things that could help them win the game, but do I trust them? Probably not. The defense is going to play like hell on Monday night. Like, they're going to look really good, and they're going to give this team a chance. On the other hand, this offense, with or without Dak, I mean, it is dead. And I think Trey Lance might be the only thing to give it a chance to make it look lively. But this offense it's horrible. It's horrible. And it's very disappointing because they spend a whole week planning for it. And then what you see, hopefully the extra day with Monday Night Football will help them, but we'll see. Well, there you go, guys. That's a look at the defenses and offenses, and we come to the ending of this video. We have a game prediction for Week 11 for the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Texans. The battle for Texas. This is a rivalry within the state lines, and the Houston Texans are 6-4. Dallas Cowboys are 3-6. Texans have playoff aspirations. The playoffs are out of the picture for the Dallas Cowboys. Despite everything that has happened, I do believe this is a dogfight. I do believe this is going to be a close game. I believe that the defense is going to be the primary reason for that. I don't expect much from this offense. Like, this offense, I expect it to be dormant. I expect it to be flat. I expect them to look just horrible, for a lot of reasons, because Cooper Rush is playing, because Mike McCarthy is calling plays, and because they lack talent ultimately. But this defense, led by Micah Parsons, is going to give this team a chance. You can bet on it. Micah Parsons is going to remind everyone. I know everyone's mad at him, but Micah Parsons will remind everyone why he is the face of the Dallas Cowboys. And so with that being said, the Cowboys are going to come up short. Even though it's going to be a dogfight, even though they're going to give some effort, and sometimes at this point, that's what we want to see. We know we're going to lose. At least just don't get blown out at home again. But they will come up short. I do believe it's going to come down to a final drive or two, but the Texans are going to win just because simply they're better. They're playoff contenders. They have talent, and they're hungrier. I mean, they're going to want it more. And the Cowboys are going to lose a very close one. I do believe the Houston Texans beat the Dallas Cowboys 23-17. Well, thank you so much again for watching another pregame prediction video. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok. And of course, I will see you after the game on Monday night. Go Cowboys.
Yeah, here we go.